Welcome to Seattle Connected, the show that connects you, yes, you, with entrepreneurs, business people, movers and shakers in our community, letting you know who they are first, before they become household names. Today with me is a name that you will not forget. She commands your attention, demands your respect. She is a vet, and I know that rhymed, but I didn't mean for it to. She is an artist. She is a mother. There's nothing that this woman can't do. She's a real-life superhero. And she's here to show you her talents, her gifts, and her beautiful spirit. Please welcome none other than the real-life action figure herself, Devona Roy. Hey.
Hey.
How was the intro?
I couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah.
Superhero, wow.
Yeah. You should roll with it.
I'm going to roll with it.
Let's do it.
I'm going to fly with it. You said
yes,
superhero.
Yes.
All right.
Yes. Miss Devona Roy, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Been trying to do this for a minute, but, sometimes good things take a minute. So thank you for agreeing to do this interview. Before we get into your beautiful work, let's do some digging.
All right.
Are you originally from Washington?
I am not originally from Washington. We're going to have to go a little south.
Okay.
We're going to go where I'm originally from.
All right, break it down. Let them know.
I am a transplant from
No
California.
Okay, no judgment. We got love for Cali.
Yeah.
No.
I'm a transplant from California, but like you said in the intro, I've lived a little bit of everywhere.
Okay.
So I am an Army veteran.
Yes.
So I've lived in California, I've lived in Georgia, I've lived in Germany, I've lived in Boston, New York. I actually have never been stationed in Washington. I did choose to move here. So,
Yes.
never been stationed there. The Army didn't make me do it. It was a choice.
It was a choice. It was a choice.
Yes, and actually Tacoma specifically. I know we were talking a little bit earlier, and it wasn't just a pin on the map either.
Right.
I'm a statistics person. I was like, where in Washington State, if I'm going to go there, am I going to choose? And I love that Tacoma specifically was one of the most diverse cities in Washington State and one of the most artistic cities when I was looking at where I wanted to bring my family to. I raised two kids. I'm a single mother. And I was like, I'm going to put them in a place where they can still have diversity. They can still see people that look like them, see movers and makers and people that are doing things in their community.
Yeah.
And Tacoma is what I found when I was looking for that. So here we are. In 2017, there we were. So
yeah, there you go. Okay, that's what's up. So how long were you in the military?
Oh, man, 9 years. I joined when I was 17. And I was still a senior in high school. My mom signed the paperwork, reluctantly.
Yeah.
But honestly, it was the best decision that I made, and it was the best decision that she could make, with me, for me. And I was in until 2009. So I've been out for 14 years.
Yeah.
So I've lived a few lives.
Okay. Now, why would you say...
That's my age.
Hey, no judgment. No judgment here in Seattle.
I think in a few weeks.
Yeah. Okay. Why would you say that it's the best decision you've made?
Honestly, I'm from a city called Moreno Valley, and it allowed me to explore. It allowed me to get out of the city. It allowed me to honestly go to college. I had no idea, how I would do, pay for college, right?
Yeah.
I'm the oldest of 5 children, also a single mother, and as far as opportunities go, people assume they're like, oh, you're going to be an artist. You're going to draw for Disney, maybe, or you're going to be in the courtrooms drawing people, right? Those were the career paths that people saw for me, and I didn't see them for myself. In my mind, you couldn't make money doing art. I didn't see a path that way.
I got you.
I honestly didn't see any path. So I was like, I'm just going to go to the military. Because at least it's a guaranteed paycheck. And then I can figure out the rest as I go, honestly.
Yeah, right. Benefits too.
Yeah. I was actually getting offers from schools, from art schools, but in my mind, I'm like, I can't afford this. My mom can't afford it, and I can't ask her for it.
Yeah.
So I didn't honestly see any other way. So I was like, the military, I'm good at it. I'm good at the military. I was in shape. I was an athlete. I was in ROTC. So I was like, sure, why not? Let's do that. Let's do that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Well, thank you for your service.
Thank you.
So after the military, did you just become a full-time artist, or why are you laughing?
Ooh, how long is this interview?
Don't do that. You got time.
How much time do we have?
You got time.
No, actually, again, I lived a lot of lives. So I was married in the military. And we have 2 kids. He's an amazing father, and we co-parent our kids now. He actually lives in Tacoma as well. He retired and chose Tacoma or Washington as his last duty station so he could be with kids. So shout out to him. Yeah. But no, before I got out of the military, I'd actually started a photography business. So some inside information a lot of people don't know, but I am also a photographer. So I actually had an entire business and we'll get there as well. Wow. But I started a photography business when I was in the military, and I was doing like weddings and family portraits, and then I was shooting like behind the scenes and music videos in Georgia and music award shows and things like that. So I kind of actually had started a business while already in the military. And I had put art down for a while. I actually did art off and on in the military, especially once the military finds out that you have a talent, they kind of use it and they exploit it for free because, it's military. You can't say no. Yeah, you can't, you're voluntold. So I actually have a mural on Fort Irwin in their squadron. I have like 2 murals in Germany, but I wasn't doing art. Yeah. I was being a soldier, But the thing that I started was the photography business. And when I got out of the military, I decided to go to school for business with a concentration in marketing. And I had a choice, either go to school for art or go to school for business. I decided I didn't want to struggle because, again, in my mind, I still didn't see art as a business. And I was like, no, I love business. And I don't want to struggle as an artist. So I'm going to go to school for business and figure out how to market myself as an artist. And not as an artist, but actually as a photographer in the form of arts at that time. So not painting, but photography, graphic design, photo manipulation, videography, video editing. So pretty much everything.
You like how you just humbly photos and video.
Anything in that realm, right? This was like 2009. This is when, DSLRs and, all of the photo editing, like it was really taking off. Photoshop was actually, just kind of really becoming really big, and all the photo editing programs in the Adobe suites. This was around that period, right? When digital everything was kind of really getting birth into how big it is now, right? And it was the forefront of that, really. So it's kind of just a beautiful time of technology. So took advantage of that. And we got stationed at Georgia, and Georgia, honestly, was just the place to be to kind of start that type of career. Yeah. Okay. And then we moved to LA, and then, you're in LA. Yeah. So celebrities and award shows and kind of stuff. Then the kids turned new age, and they started school. So I was like, okay, well, I have this entertainment, thing where I'm doing photography at night, and I'm going to these award shows, and I have these celebrity clients. But now I have these kids in school, and I noticed that there was a need for an art program because they didn't offer it in the schools. They were at a charter school, so I volunteered to create an art program. And before the month was up at this school, we had a waiting list of kids, of like 30, 40 something kids that wanted to partake in this art program. So the following year, we actually made it a part of the curriculum. And I became a teacher for like 4 years, teaching visual and performing arts. So that kind of brought me back to art, basically.
Okay, so, all right, we're going to run this. Let's go to the list, all right? So, military photography while in the military, marketing, teaching, chef,
culinary arts.
Right? Yeah. Oh, I just threw that out there.
I mean, it's art.
No, but you Man, look at that.
I mean, I like to eat, so.
Yeah? Singing?
You said what?
Singing?
Oh, no. I can act, but
I thought you were going to roll with it and be like, that too.
No, I stay in my lane.
Okay.
Gave birth to a singer. I did not.
Yes.
I gave that to her. I did not give it to myself.
Stay in your lane. Okay. So when did you, as far as marketing goes, are you still in that field, or when did you start?
Yeah, so I'm in that field on the corporate side. So I a lot of people assume also that I do art full time. I only kind of paint and do art on the weekends and during my free time. Professionally, I do have a full-time career in creative marketing. I won't say right now this is not about them, but I do have a career in Seattle.
Yeah.
That's my 9 to 5.
Yeah, this is your time.
Yeah. So I do it professionally. But then I also, and I will say this on camera because I believe in this wholeheartedly. I refuse to sit in board meetings and corporate meetings and not use the knowledge that I take out of these meetings about marketing and SEOs and trends and things like that, and then not bring it back to our community, right, and to our small businesses, and use it to our advantage, right? So whatever's working for these big companies, right, and these multi-million-dollar companies, we absolutely need to bring back here. And I share that knowledge, and I share what I learned in those willingly and freely. So like I don't. Oh, how do I put this? So I don't charge per se for those services. Like if you ask me a question like, hey, like how do I do this, or how can I get better at this, or what would you advise I do this? I just share the information. It's in a sense, some people would say it's a consultation and things like that. Right. You often hear people say, oh, well, can you give a consult? And they're like, oh yeah, I'll try to do this more for a consultation. And I don't really do that. Honestly, if we're having a conversation, I'm just going to just tell you what I think about it, based off of that. And then I want you to go and learn more, go research more, go find out more. And if I see that you're doing that, I'm going to be like, okay, yeah, absolutely. This is where you go, and this is where you go find that information, and this is how it can help your business, right? I want that for us. So in a sense, it's still marketing, right? I'd rather give you the information than you fly with it. So yeah.
Okay.
So, EPKs, all that stuff. Like if you want to get EPK built and all that, yeah, I will absolutely do that. And then we might start talking fees and things like that. So that's where the photography and video comes back in.
Yeah. So that's your full time on the weekends.
Weekends and nights and evenings and lack of sleep.
Ooh. Yes, you're a real artist.
Yeah.
Artists will have lack of sleep. Sometimes they have to starve themselves. Sacrifice going out all the time. But that's the best artists, athletes. I mean, you have to put 100% into your craft. And then some. 100% even on your bad days. And if you guys hear that barking, that is her beautiful dog, Adonis. Shout out to Adonis. He's like, what about me? I need my time to shine.
We're going to teach him to be an artist too, because I think that he can actually probably be bigger than I am.
Yeah, okay.
Instagram art dog, yeah, for sure.
So when did you get into art?
Oh,
as
wow.
Far as you being an artist.
Oh my gosh. Honestly, I think I picked it, not even I think, I know that I picked it up because my grandmother, I think I was trying to impress her. She's an artist. My dad's actually an artist as well. But I picked it up because I was just trying to do something that she would like.
Yeah.
And then my mom would always be like, if you're bored, go do something. Right. Like, go create something.
Yeah.
And so I would. And then she was like, she would not even look at it if it was if it didn't have my name at the bottom of it, or if it was wrinkled or dirty, or she didn't want to see it if it wasn't presentable. Right? But it definitely instilled a certain quality in me, right? So it always made me go back and do better, right? But it also filled my time with. She's like, you can never be bored if you're creative, right? Because there's always something that you could be doing, right? And it was legit. Even if I was I was always a good student, not bragging all the way, but I was teacher's pet and all of that stuff back in the day, that 90s lingo or whatever. So if I finished my work early, then I was sitting there doodling or drawing a world map or practicing penmanship was like art to me, right?
See, I used to finish my work and then I get in trouble because I was bored. And I used to have a lot of teachers, I would finish my work, so I really couldn't say much. But then I'm like, oh yeah, it's time to entertain.
Yeah, no.
Mr. Jackson, you sitting, you're done, but I'm done. I don't care. Do that in the hall. My friends are like, no, it's not to, But anyway.
See, and I would have been the kid drawing you, getting in trouble. No.
You probably would have. I would have been doing that to get your attention. Like, hey, you're not paying me attention. Hey, what's up? What's up? But that's dope. So, as far as painting goes, do you have to be in a certain mood to paint? Or, because I know, alright, so time, you're painting on the weekends when you have a little bit of time in between doing all that marketing. Do you have to be like in a certain mindset, or does it really depend on what you're creating?
Okay, so I don't necessarily have to be in a certain mindset, but there is definitely a mindset that I cannot be in, if that makes sense, right?
Yes.
So, like, most of the time, I can force myself to, like, okay, well, I have to get this done.
Okay.
Right? But there are times where I'm like, you know what, I absolutely cannot paint right now. I am not feeling it. Right? And those are the times that I'm more concerned about, right? Because it's like, you know what, I just have to put the brush down.
What happens if you don't?
It's just...
Do you ever... Wait. Before you answer that, do you ever force yourself to paint and then you're like, I shouldn't have, because you see the end result isn't what, you know what I mean? Like when you force yourself to do something and you're like, why did I do that? That didn't even come out the way I...
Not in recent years, only because I've done it before and I've learned from it. Right? And you learn from it in the way of like, wasted material, wasted time, wasted money. Yeah. And I don't like wasting stuff, especially time, because you can't get time back. Like,
time.
You can't get time back. Everything else is replaceable.
You can't buy it on Amazon?
Yeah, no. Again, everything else is replaceable, right?
Yeah.
Materials, money, all of the good stuff is replaceable. Time isn't. And I don't have a lot of time to waste.
True.
So, that part I don't do anymore. And I've been there. Like I said, right now, if I don't, it's as simple as communication with the client. If it's like an absolute, like, hey, no, I can't. So also don't do it, right? Don't force it, right? Give yourself the time that you need to complete it, or whatnot. Because it's not gonna come to you if you're not feeling it. Yeah. Most of the time, I'm in a decent place where I can, right? And I'm actually relatively fast, like that's why I can paint on stage or whatnot, and to the crowd it looks complete, right? And then I typically can go home and finish it up or whatnot. But for the most part, I don't get to that like absolutely I can't space very often. Yeah, it's usually just I'm just too tired, and it's just like no, go ahead, rest, and come back at it another day.
Do you find yourself ever getting back into teaching?
I feel like I'm always teaching, but I love to teach though. Like, I mean, when we first started talking about the interview, I was ready to teach you how to paint during the interview. Remember? I was like,
no, but listen, because I told you, I said I'm not going to embarrass myself on camera. No, ma'am. Yeah. Maybe when the camera's off, but no.
I have this ideology though that if you can write, you can draw, right? Because one, there's no wrong way to create art, right? It's your art, and so who's going to tell you that it's wrong? Yeah.
That's true.
And I fancy myself a good teacher. Like I can teach anybody to draw anything because there's a method to do anything related to art, right? The only thing that you can't teach is the creativity behind it, right? But creativity is limitless, right? So there's no wrong way to do it.
Man.
So
spoken like a true professor.
Oh.
Devona Roy. Yes. Do you do a lot of custom work?
I do. So I don't do like commissions in the form of like, family portraits and things like that so much anymore. But I do concept art, right? So it's like, hey, here's my aesthetic, right? Like I'm about to actually do another mural here, but it's gonna be at someone's home this time. So, I've done a mural. I've got 3 murals in Tacoma. right now, also on at LeMay. We were speaking about that earlier. So for the next year at least, you guys can go to LeMay, America's Art Museum, see a mural there for a peace panel. There's one on East McKinley that we did with Eloise Food Bank. So that's on McKinley on 38th. And then there's one in Revolution Fitness. So Sean Peterson, there's a mural there. And now I'm about to do my first one in Washington State in someone's, or it's actually at their home. So not in their home, but at their home. It's in their backyard. Mm-hmm. So that's pretty dope. But I do custom shoes. So you can't, I know you guys can't see his shoes, but he's rocking custom shoes right now. We do those. Okay. I used to do a lot of like odd men stuff. Like when I first came out here, I refused to send my kids to school with like store-bought backpacks because a lot of them didn't have faces that looked like them. Right? Like if you looked at like the Disney princesses before we had Tiana, like really? You know, or superheroes, it wasn't. And so I used to make them backpacks so that characters looked like them. I have a line of attire actually because I do digital art as well. And I didn't want to work out with attire that, you know, like I love comics, so I would make like a Black Flash or you know, an Asian Spider-Gwen or whatever. And so I would do customs for people who also wanted attire that looked like them. So yeah, I do all sorts of customs. Yeah. Custom art on canvas, custom jackets, purses. I have a purse that I did for Lily Lion. You know what that is? Oh! But not SWV. So Lily Lions SWV.
Oh, weren't you just? You just said it like it was. I'm thinking art. I'm thinking the art world. Sorry. Of course, Lily, Taj, Coco, SWV.
So I did a custom purse for her. It aired on Growing Up Hip Hop Atlanta twice. What? Yeah, it was either right before or during COVID. I can't recall the timeline, but so it aired on like Bravo Time when Art did.
Did you see? Did you see them when they were here?
No, I didn't. I was
Babyface.
I missed it because you know I was probably working.
Sorry.
Honestly, like, and the me too would have probably been like, oh, trying to be on stage pain, like, because that's usually how I end up going out is through work. Actually, like I look like I have a social life, and it's usually just work.
Yeah, you need work in these social settings, working. So,
yeah.
I have to shout out that painting you did of Dougie Fresh. That was fire.
Thank you.
That was fire. Man, so how did that happen?
Oh man, so Anthony Tibbs, Dope Culture. I started painting. So can I rewind it even before? Because that actually is. I'll make the story really quick though. But I started painting live on stage the first year that I moved out here in 2017 because of they weren't GSL back then, I don't think, but. I was able to see all the way live events. I told you we're about to do another one. It's like a reunion one on the 22nd. But I had never painted live on stage before, like in my life. And they were like, "Can you do it?" And I was like, "Sure." I've never done it before, but we're gonna make it happen, right? And that's kind of like really how I built, you know, that painting live on stage experience for myself out here, and it really started getting my name out. And then a couple of years later, Anthony Tibbs needed a live painter on stage. And I happened to be available. Somebody, I think it was like a word of mouth, and it was like, hey, we know somebody who does it. She's really dope. You know, dope culture. So he was like, okay, we'll bet. And it was for his Soul of a Woman and the Neo Soul Festival, I think it was. Yeah. This was like maybe like 3-4 years ago or something. And I kid you not, I have been doing every single fest that he has thrown, every single event that he has thrown ever since. So if it was Yamoja Fest, if it was Soul of a Woman, like everything that he literally, like I've become family to him. I can't say what I've recently done because like it's been everything.
Yeah. I heard you there at the second day of Yamoja Fest.
The second day?
Yeah.
I've been at all.
No.
Oh, no.
I know I was on stage.
No,
I was on stage. I was on stage.
This year, actually.
Sorry.
No, this year I actually took a step back from vending a lot because I also noticed that I've vended every year since I've been out here, but I haven't been able to enjoy festivals.
Right.
So this is the first year I actually did vend like Ethnic Fest and Umoja Fest as a vendor. Taste of Tacoma, Taste of Seattle. I haven't been able to enjoy Washington State as a resident and not as a vendor. Like, I want to enjoy it and actually live here and not just work it.
Right.
So I took a break. I actually only vended it and was on stage because Anthony asked me to. Because of Dougie Fresh. Because I wasn't planning on doing it at all, honestly. I was very adamant on, actually just enjoying this year and taking a step back away from all of that.
Okay.
So I did it because, he asked, and Anthony asked, I want to do it because he's been such a huge blessing.
Yeah.
And again, like, I'm always going to give back to, the community and to those who, like, I won't say those who have given back to me because, like, even if you have, I'm still going to give back, but I wouldn't dare say no. Like, I wouldn't do it. So it was a dope experience, honestly. Like, I love being on stage. I love that. Like, that's how I paint when I'm at home. I turn on my music. I get lost in the music. I vibe out. And so when I'm on stage with them, like, half the time I have to remember that the crowd is there.
Yeah.
I have to turn around and, like, literally get involved because I get lost.
Yeah. Being a vet, marketing genius, yes. Entrepreneur, artist, mom, what's something that you want people to know about you? Know about Devona Roy?
Oh, man. So, what do I...
How would you describe yourself to someone?
How would I describe?
Yeah.
So, I think one of the things that I probably say the most is I wholeheartedly believe we're not meant to be here forever, right? Like, we're people, right? Like, and we leave things behind, right? And as an artist, I feel like I know I'm not going to be here forever, but I can create something that does, right? And my art is the way that I can do that, right? I don't know what tomorrow is going to bring. Right? I don't know what the next second is going to bring. But the things that I create are going to outlast me. Right? And whether that's memories, what somebody remembers of you, and that's what we all have, right? Like, everybody's an artist to some extent, whether we realize it or not, right? We are artists of our own lives, right? We are literally painting the picture that we want people to think of us or see us as, right? When we start doing it without even realizing it, right? We do it as children, right? We're painting the picture that we want our parents to believe that we are, right? Or that we want our teachers, or we're painting the model student, the model child, the model husband, the model wife, or whatever. We're all artists, right? We're painting the picture that we want people to remember us as. As a photographer, I tell people that I see the world in frames. And that I'm capturing the world the way that I see it. As an artist, and in the painting form or the pencil and creating form, I'm creating the world that I want to see. Yeah. Right? But it's all art.
It's all art.
So
life is art.
Yeah.
Art is life.
That's what I would say. That's what I would want people to think of when they think of me, right? And then again, I truly believe that there is no wrong way to do it, right? No one can tell you that your art isn't art or that what you're creating is wrong. The same way that people can't tell you that, what you created for yourself as a person, your personality, your style, your demeanor is wrong, right? Because it's you. That's who you are. It's what you created. It's the same thing with art. So, yeah, that would be it.
Man, Devona, you're all right.
Oh, thank you.
Aside from all that bad stuff, you're a good person.
See? Nobody can tell me that I'm wrong. See?
No. I appreciate that. That really makes a lot of sense. And, like you said earlier, time is one thing you can't get back. So it's important to make the most of the time that we're blessed with and make those memories and those connections. And like you said, you can create art that's going to outlast your life, your grandkids, great grandkids, so I think it's important to give everything you can and all that you do, because that's going to be everlasting and you can touch someone's life that you will never even meet,
Yeah. I literally, I'm going to bring up, if that's okay, I'm going to bring up like a couple of things because I have like firsthand experience with like how art has like literally shown me that in like real time, right? And it's such a blessing to be able to do it and then actually see the results from it, right? Because sometimes you don't, right? Like sometimes like you can do it and then you never know how it affects it, right? And I got permission because I was like, I don't know if I can mention it or not. And they're like, yeah, no, it's okay. But art is how I express myself as well, right? So like, some people are gifters and some people send money and some people do things or whatever. So art is how I express myself as well. So if something happens to somebody or, if I want to give back or whatnot, like it's through art.
Yeah.
So I also work with charities, I work with foundations, and I work with people, and I use my art to do that. So is it okay to mention like some people that I work with here?
Yeah,
I'm going to get permission from you as well.
Well, if it's okay with them.
Yes, it is. I checked with them first too before I do
lawsuits. Yeah, go ahead.
So there are a couple of organizations that I do work with, and one of them, and I told you I was going to their gala last week and whatnot, but it's the Randall Morris Foundation.
Okay.
And I started working with them like 3 years ago, and they donate to charities. One of them is like it's a birthday foundation, and they raise money for children who can't have birthday parties because they're facing like homelessness and things like that. And so they do these like charity events, and I donate art to them. And it's like literally something that is like brings it's a passion of mine, but it's like I can use this thing that like my mom literally just go do this. That's from childhood, right?
Yeah.
And other people are just okay, well, just I don't know how to word it, but like they're like, oh, you should be doing this full time. You should be spending this, and it's priceless, right? I can use this to raise funds for somebody who is struggling. Right. I can charge whatever I, want for this or whatnot, but it's priceless. And people are bidding on it. They often ask, like, what do you charge for this? And honestly, I don't know what to say half the time because I would give it away, to be honest. I do give it away. And I typically tell them, like, put whatever you guys want on it because it's not going to me. Like, whatever you guys think it's what you're going to get for the foundation, put that on it, right? And it's always interesting to me to see what people value it as, because it's going to go straight to them. It's going to go straight to these foundations or whatnot. I would say like that's probably the most things that I take pride in more than what I'm selling my art for, like at these vending or at these festivals. Like, I'm glad that I can make money off of it, but I take more pride in like what the people are bidding on these things for at like these foundations and at these charity events more than what I'm selling my art for. Yeah. I actually have a really hard time pricing my art. Like, believe it or not, I have a hard time selling my art, but I absolutely have no issue donating it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like,
I'll hold you to that.
No, I kid you not.
My birthday just passed, so.
Well, see, and I honestly, I give away, and I kid you not. Like, I probably give away more art than I do. Like, I have no problem selling art. I would give it away in a heartbeat. The piece, and we'll talk about some a little bit later, but this is actually being donated. friends, birthdays, like that's how I gift. If I know that someone's just lost a loved one, like I'm going to the celebration of life with a painting in hands, like that's what I take more pride in. Like I take pride in every piece that I do, don't get me wrong, right? But that's what brings me the most peace rather than, I'm selling this piece for, I made a really nice, amount with some of the murals that I've done. And they do bring me pride and joy, and I love looking at it. But knowing that I created a piece for a family, that brings me more satisfaction. When I know that this mother can have this painting of a son that she's lost, and I'm not going to mention names for that because I don't have permission for those. But even if I've never met the mother, but I knew the son, I'd rather do that. Because I think that also that's what art is supposed to be. It's great if, yes, I did a piece that matched somebody's aesthetic in their living room and, they'll have it there and they can pass down their kids. But it's even better if you can touch somebody emotionally, or you can change somebody's life. Like I said, what we're doing with the foundations, what we're doing with the charity events, what people are bidding on because it's changing somebody's life. I do feel better when someone else is placing a value on it because they see value in it rather than me placing a price on it. I don't know. It's a different kind of feeling. So if you noticed earlier, I speak, a million miles per hour, but when I speak in it this way, I kind of get a little fumbling of the words because I really don't know how to express that one. But it's a different feeling.
Yeah. Yeah. That's dope. Well, I can't wait to see more of your artwork. And I don't even know how I got in touch with you per se when I saw your work, and I was like, yo, I gotta, do some research on her. And I was just amazed. And then I started to see that you were someone who, like you were saying, you weren't painting just to make money. It was like you were really doing it because you really cared about it, and you just really enjoyed the joy that you were bringing to people who really respond to your art in a certain way. So I thank you for that. Thank you for everything you're doing. If you ever need anything, please let me know. Seattle Connected got you. I don't tell everyone that. But yes, I do. Oh my goodness. But thank you so much. The other day. No. Right. But stop. But if you ever need anything, let us know. And with that said, can we see a little something? Can you just do a little something for us for a little bit?
Yeah.
All right.
Let's switch out the chairs.
Yeah, let's do it. All right. See the artist at work. So, loving basketball.
Yes, it's that classic, right?
Man,
high school.
How did you decide on that to create?
Honestly, it's again, I'm gonna tell my age again. No, it was one of my favorite movies, right, growing up. And I've kind of been on, I think maybe it's 2-3 years ago, I started that whole, you remember the movie Billy, right?
Of course.
So you remember Budden's house with the black and white pictures back in the... So 2-3 years ago, I had redid a couple of those, right? And it really kind of kicked off this high contrast, black, white, gold, series that I was on. His didn't have the gold in it, but I had to because royalty. And then I was like, ooh, I'm gonna do the basketball one, but also add the gold because of the ball. And I think that theirs, I think they're just holding a regular basketball or whatever. But I was like, oh, it'd be kind of lit if it was gold so it would glow. So I just did it, honestly. I mean, it didn't go with the collection because the collection was just all faces and bodies, but I'm like, I just wanted to do it. And so I did and loved it. It literally didn't go with any of the other pieces. But this one was kind of just a personal, I'm gonna do it because of that. And then my son ended up kind of he's a basketball player. He's been balling since he was 12 months old, literally dribbling 2 balls at 2 years old, and he still plays to this day. And so this one is actually going to go to his basketball team, his high school basketball team, for an alumni dinner. So it's going to get donated so that they can auction it off.
Okay.
And raise some funds for his team. So
nice. When is that?
It's like September, October time frame.
Okay.
So yeah, we've got some work to do really quickly, actually.
All right, we won't bother you too long.
You good? I love to do this.
This is nice. You should do some other movies like you could do one of my personal favorites, Juice.
Ooh. Good. So for a while, actually, this was like maybe 2017. I actually used to date like classic like exploitation films and turn them. I think a lot of people were doing it back then, and turning them into like cartoon characters. Mm-hmm. So I had like a lot of the Boondocks characters, certain things, and yeah. I actually did a Love and Basketball one of Bugs and Lola.
Okay.
Yeah. So I love drawing hands. It was one of the hardest things for me to draw, so I would practice them all the time. I would notice that a lot of people would stay away from drawing hands or detail because it's hard to draw. So I would purposely, and again, like Sydney Gladys, get your homework.
You would
challenge doodle hands all day.
You said, you know what, I'm going to try to master this because it's something that I'm not exceptionally good at. So I'm going to force myself to learn. Exactly. You didn't run away from the challenge. No, and I would sit there like, literally, I'm going to just reenact it really quick. I'll pick that back up. But I would sit there, because I'm right-handed, and I would hold a pencil in my left. See? I thought you were I used to kickbox too. I would sit there with a pencil in my hand, like this, right? And draw my hand like this. So, right hand, draw my left hand, holding a pencil, and I would draw this. I've probably drawn this hand like this maybe 100 times or whatnot, and then I would draw another hand, the opposite one, well, of course, with my right hand, and that's how I would just keep doing that, and then practice the shading over and over and over, and that's how I would build up drawing hands. Yeah. What are you drawing for me? So, let's see. So what I'm doing right now is shading is honestly shading is everything, right? And it's just light and dark, right? Shading is everything with photography, believe it or not. So photography was the first camera was just a pen light, right? Literally, it's just all about how light is hitting things, and that's really all photography still is to this day, no matter how sophisticated the camera is. It's just how light is bouncing off of stuff, and that's what's creating the picture. And it's the same thing for art itself. So this very two-dimensional canvas, right? You can make something look like it's coming off of the canvas, even though it's still two-dimensional, just by how you shade it, right? And it's the same thing with this. This can look very flat, or it can look like it's coming off of the canvas, coming to life just by where your light and your dark shadows are. So I like to use makeup brushes because they're super soft. So those artists out there, if you're wondering why, your things are not really blending in well, just go with a really, really, really soft brush. I use makeup brushes. Don't start stealing them all because, makeup artists don't be mad. But I'm going to blend it, and it's going to just kind of blend in really seamlessly, right? I already kind of put my white where I want it right now. And what I'm doing right now is my whites aren't going to stay white. Where I put the whites are right now, it's just because I want a slightly lighter gray. When this oil paint, because I am painting with oil right now, when it's completely dry, I'll be able to go in and actually put my real whites where I want them. Now, earlier you were talking about oil painting. How long does it take for oil painting to actually dry? So here's the thing about oil paint. Oil paint doesn't really actually dry at all. It oxidizes. So acrylic dries, it's water-based, right? And that's why it dries. But oil doesn't, it oxidizes. And it can take years, to be completely honest, depending on the color. So to surface dry,
It can take anywhere between 24 hours to a few weeks, depending on how thick it is, depending on the color, depending on the type of paint. So like kind of cheaper paint can be quicker. You can mix it with certain things to expedite the process. The climate can actually affect it. So like if it's in a really cold climate, it can take really, really long. You can put it on a heater or in an oven and it can help to expedite it. So there's, a few tricks that you can do, but but you kind of learn different things along the way. And again, that's just surface dry. It can take years to completely dry underneath or oxidize underneath. So, and some colors never dry completely. They never oxidize completely, like red, certain reds. Never. So,
Learn something new. You guys need to tune in to Seattle Connected. Hosted by me. Remember that. Learn something new every time.
Yeah. So I was definitely that kid. And a lot of people thought he was doing oil because he was using a wet on wet technique. But I was 100% that kid Saturday morning watching Bob Ross.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
100%.
Did you watch that documentary?
Yes, I did, and unfortunately, I was that person who stopped buying the product afterwards.
It's alright.
Yeah, that was a little mad. I was really liking the product too. Dang, awkward moment of silence after that. Got Pulp Friction, awkward moment of silence.
So, you have the event coming up for this, and then, what else? Before we go, can you let people know how they can get in touch with you, find out what's going on, just see what's happening in the world of Devona Roy, or even if they just want to say, "Hey, girl, you doing your thing? I like your paintings," or just want to reach out.
Yeah. So, reaching out. So I have a website. It's Art Deity. That is Art, A-R-T, Deity, D-E-I-T-Y.
D-E-I-T-Y. Yes.
ArtDeity.com. Facebook, Artists, or Arts Deity, so same thing as the website, Art Deity, on Facebook. On Instagram, it's Artists Deity, so A-R-T-I-S, A-R-T-I-S-T, Deity. No underscores, no dots, or anything like that. And that's my socials and all that good stuff.
Shout outs.
Yeah, shout outs. Oh my gosh. Man, I don't want to shout out because if I leave out somebody, I'll be mad.
Alright.
No.
Well, there's one person you can shout out.
My kids are on social and stuff, so I'll shout out them. But Cherry Target, love you guys. But no. Definitely, I want to shout out for sure, Deshaun, GSL, you guys, they really did get my start out here for sure, because they, again, shout out, they started me out here. Anthony Tibbs with Dope Culture, again, that's family out here. I'm at every single one of their events. David, I gotta shout you out, because this is that platform. Set it right in front of me, but also thank you for the love and bringing me on your show. Like, this has been amazing. I don't get in front of the camera for anybody. I don't know that you do that now. I am behind the scenes. Yeah. So thank you for getting me out of my comfort zone for sure. This is fun.
We gotta do this again.
Same thing. Randall Morris and Amanda Morris with the Amanda Morris Foundation. You guys are becoming family for sure. Love what you guys are doing in the community, and thank you for bringing me on board. There's honestly just Tacoma, Seattle. Again, I'm a transplant, and the artist community, I'm gonna let you guys know, is a very territorial community. But Tacoma and Seattle artists, I've met so many amazing people. My brother, LaShawn Gamble, God, you've been rolling with me since day one. If I had to give a shout out to anybody and only one person, it would for sure be him. So I know that we weren't supposed to talk about other artists, but I cannot not shout him out because he has been my brother since I moved out here, right? But I don't think I've met a single artist out here that hasn't shown me love. And when I tell you that, you can step into other states and artists will literally, if you're not from them, they won't show you love. It is very territorial. And I've gotten nothing but blessings, nothing but love from everybody out here. Lords, I mean, good Lord,
Yeah.
it's been amazing. So I think, and honestly, my shout out goes out to everybody in our community. This has been one of the realest communities I've been a part of, and I've been a part of a lot. I've been part of a lot of families, military, schools. You guys heard it. Like, I've had a lot of lives, and this has definitely been not one of the best, but the best.
That's what's up.
So,
and
yeah.
you're part of the reason why it is one of the best. So please, we got to do this again, right?
Yeah, so for sure.
Yes, we got to do this again. Thank you so much for blessing us. I can't wait to see how this turns out. We'll have to show you guys when she's completed this, and please check out the rest of her amazing art. Tell a friend to tell a friend, and just keep her in your well wishes or prayers, and continue to watch this young lady grow. She has a lot more coming, I promise you. And so do we. Stay connected. Like I always say, it's important to take care of others, but please make sure you take care of yourself. Right? Right. Until then, Tom, stay connected.
Stay connected.
All right.
You about to finish this, right?
No. That's it. I'm out of here.